everybody, welcome. Before I read the support group meeting guidelines, I just want to say it's good to see everybody. This is the first time I believe that I've run a Racing for Recovery live stream support group meeting with two former people who are receiving services up here who now work at Racing for Recovery. So I want to give a big shout out to Adam and Dean for not only getting their lives together, but being a part of helping everybody else get their own lives together. So. And hopefully I'll be able to throw each of them under the bus at some point tonight. All right, thank you for attending the Racing for Recovery support group meeting. We are focused on maintaining a drug-free and healthy lifestyle. Since 2001, I love saying that, our open forum meeting welcomes parents, adolescents, recovering individuals, and anyone who supports our mission. Your suggestions, comments, or ideas are welcome to make our meetings the best they can be. The Racing for Recovery support group meeting is a cutting-edge alternative to what is currently offered. By combining substance abusers, families, friends, and the public at large, we have created an environment that is beneficial to everyone that has been affected by alcohol and drug addiction. We start at 6:30, so please be on time. Please turn off your cell phones and refrain from making posts to social media during the meeting. Please, only one person speaks at a time, and when you do speak, please kindly do it loudly so everybody watching and everybody in here can hear you, because what you have to say is important. We will sign anything that needs to be signed. The only thing that is required here is we want you guys to be honest. I'm gonna take a moment with that too. If you're having a hard go tonight, and when I say hard go, if you're struggling with mental issues and you're battling, please raise your hand early so we can help you early. Don't wait till 6:20 or 7:25 and ask for help. Do it early so we can get you sorted. That's what it's about. Feel free to openly share your comments and points of view on how substance abuse has impacted your life. This meeting is open to people of all ages and welcomes diversity. So please refrain from using excessive foul language and language that discriminates against any race, gender, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or disability in order to maintain an atmosphere of respect and dignity for all who are present. If you see a visitor, a new member, or a returning member that had the courage to come back that you haven't seen in a while, please warmly welcome them into our program. Your confidentiality is important to us, so if you do not want to be on camera tonight, there's designated seats for you to sit and still be a part of this. Please refrain from getting up during the meeting while it's in progress. And if you are going to litter, please do it in one of our trash cans. And as always, I'm so glad that everybody quit smoking, so we don't even have to talk about smoking anymore. Cool. Right?
Yes.
Okay. I always say if you guys don't quit, I'm gonna start. Okay, who has our, let's do the lifestyles of recovery first. Who has the lifestyles of recovery?
Right over here. The guidelines for living a lifestyle of recovery. The lifestyles of recovery guidelines are intended to be utilized by recovering individuals, their families, and anyone else who is striving to avoid substance abuse and achieve sobriety. Guidelines. 1. Recognizing that substance abuse ruins lives. 2. Wanting to pursue positive alternatives to substance abuse such as our education, employment, quality relationships, and health and fitness. 3. Using resources such as friends, family, teachers, and peers as a way to achieve and remain sober. Adding sports, art, or music to these resources will help us stay focused and motivated. 4. Defining balance and working toward making it part of our everyday life. 5. Building self-esteem and confidence through sobriety to combat negative feelings regarding oneself. 6. Understanding that negative behaviors of isolation and self-pity lead to self-destruction. 7. Lifting a person up is different than allowing them to continue their destructive lifestyles. Be there for yourself and be patient with your friends and family. 8. Learning how to help without supporting the addict's behavior. Providing assistance to the recovering individual that will improve their lives, not further their usage. 9. Recognizing personal challenges and integrating them into our lifestyle as challenges to triumph over. 10, caring for our personal, emotional, physical, and spiritual individuality is the source we use for our sense of worth. Each person is truly magnificent. Our mission at Racing for Recovery is to prevent all forms of substance abuse by promoting a lifestyle of fitness and health for all those affected by addiction.
Awesome. Dean, go ahead and do the announcements, please.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna try not to hack these too bad. But these are the signature support group announcements. And Monday, don't forget we have a book study support group from 4 to 5 p.m. The public is welcome. We're going over the creating book right now. Tuesdays is the men and women's peer support groups. They are also open to the public. Wednesdays is the Bedford Alliance Church Recovery Group from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It begins with a meal at 6 p.m. The church shuttle bus leaves for clients at 5:15 p.m. Meal served at 6. Thursdays, free plant-based dinner and music for group attendees at 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Now let's give a big shout out to me. And also, let's do another one for all the kitchen volunteers that go in there. So the signature support group meeting is from 6:30 to 7:30. Available in person, a live stream on Facebook, YouTube. Thanks to our tech crew sitting over there. They make this all possible. Saturdays, we have community connections from 2:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Sundays, our optional run walk support group at Wildwood Metro Park. Meeting lasts from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Let's see here. Bedford Alliance Church services pick up clients at 10:15 a.m. And yeah. Then also, I want to point out all these wonderful books up here. If you haven't got a chance to check any of them out, I encourage you to do so. I had the honor to be a big part of that Do No Harm book on the end there. So, if anybody's looking to eat a little bit healthier or anything like that, I've got a 7-day meal plan, 7 breakfast, lunch, dinner. There's dessert, smoothies, all kinds of good stuff of healthy plant-based cooking in there. So I encourage you to speak up and check it out. And also, we're going to ask for Google and Yelp reviews. Follow us on social media. Video of this meeting is available later tonight. Thank you.
Dean, yeah. Like the Three Stooges up here tonight. That's all right. Okay, is there anybody here for their first ever Racing for Recovery meeting tonight? Is this your anybody? Welcome. Thank you for being here. A couple things that you may not be used to, so let's get that right off the rip here. You don't have to introduce yourself as an addict, okay? If you want to do that or you need to do that for your own recovery, feel free to do it. But at Racing for Recovery for the past 24 years, we are more interested in your name, who you are as a person, some cool stuff about you. We're pretty sure we know you had a drug and alcohol problem, but the label thing is not required here. But again, if you need to identify like that, feel free to do it. So we're going to do introductions. We're going to make it quick and simple so we can get into the meeting tonight. So we're going to ask everybody to go around the room. We want to know your name, and I want you to say one positive word that you're either feeling that word or you desire to feel that word again. So again, your name, one positive word that you're feeling, or you may not be feeling that in a long time, or you've never felt it. One or the other. Blaze, go ahead.
I'm Blaze, and you said just our name and the word.
One positive word.
And creative.
I'm Len, perseverance.
Nice.
Phil, ready. JP, self-respect. I'm Brian, feel relief.
Nice.
Oh, hopeless. Matt, happy. Totally content.
Mike, surrendering.
I'm Chris and Pride.
I'm Jeff and I am hopeful.
I'm Michael and I say patience.
I'm Michael Folk.
I'm Billy, happy.
Good evening, group. I'm John. I'm blessed.
Joe, grateful.
Don, balanced.
I'm Jared, feeling encouraged.
And Kelly, welcome.
Michael, you going?
Michael, forgiven.
Matt, hopeful. Anybody on the back wall playing? No? Okay, Ron?
Hi, Ronnie. Secure.
Nice.
Mark, renewed.
Precious, motivated.
Thomas, safe.
Bradley.
Bradley, dedicated.
Melissa, joyous. Pam, curious.
Jason, humble.
Sheila, completed. And Joey feels refreshed from swimming.
I feel grateful. There we go.
Do you have a name, young lady?
Oh, I'm Amanda.
Hi, Amanda, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Shane and I feel connected.
I am Tim and I feel loved.
I'm Michelle and I feel seen.
I'm JJ, feeling excited.
How you doing? I'm determined.
I'm Jason and I'm home.
Joe O, stable.
Nice.
Mitchell and content.
I'm Steve and I'm feeling self-love.
I'm Heather and capable.
Alex, determined.
Present.
I'm Adam, feel proud.
I'm Chef Dean and I am resilient.
I'm Todd, committed. Okay, does anybody have something they want me to turn into an amazing support group meeting tonight? A topic, a question, a comment, anything? Bueller, anyone? Steve?
Learning how to find yourself in recovery.
Okay. Learning how to find yourself in recovery. All right, we can do that. We will do that. Hang on a second. Let me look at my notes and see if I can word that into it. Okay. Okay, one more time. Say that. What you want to do again?
Learning how to find yourself in recovery.
Okay. So let's do this, and it ties into something else I wanted to do.
The answer.
Thank you. Mistake number one. Wow. All right. That's peer support. I appreciate that. Who has the answer? Michael, please read that.
Answer by Donald D. Carr. Running from the misery, trying to escape the pain. As I approach the light of hope that lies before me, each step overwhelms me, every breath sears my throat. I ache, my body rebels against me, my memories torment me. Agony has become my closest companion. My demons mock me as I dangle helplessly above the abyss of alcohol and drug abuse. The voices all sound the same, criticizing, accusing, blaming me for what has happened. They don't understand, they don't care who I am. I am a human being full of thoughts and feelings. I am worth saving, just show me the way. At last I reach the light of promise. There stands the answer, open arms, understanding smiles, looks of trust. And so it begins, racing for recovery.
Okay, so we're gonna do that topic, and Mr. Herbster made me think of something else. I already made a mistake doing this meeting right off the bat again, and I was, as Mike Lee was reading, I was thinking, I've been doing this for 24 years, I still make mistakes. So in the finding yourself, humility is a huge factor in this, and then being grateful that we have support around us to help us when we're simply making a mistake or trying to get better. So with respect to finding yourself, how do we do that? And I want to tie this into how do we find ourselves? When you're coming in to Racing for Recovery or any recovery early, I think we have and it's a good thing, you can look at other people and see what other people do or how they think, how they talk, how they live, and you want it for yourself. That's a lot of what we should be doing. So in finding yourself, is it possible to see it in someone else and know it is possible that then you can do for yourself? And then the question is, how does one do that? So if you look, well, I mean, Steve, I'm gonna start this off with you. Why did you ask that question, and how can you answer what I'm trying to turn into a group already is, have you looked at other people when you came in here and said, I want what that person does, and then now you start seeing yourself doing it?
Absolutely. Hats off to Shefdeen, yourself, and Adam, as well as Amanda, Shane, the rest of our staff, and even people that were here or have been here longer than me. I didn't understand a lot of it when I first got here, but if you sit at these tables long enough and listen, you can see people moving forward, and you can see that they have what you want, and sometimes you don't know that's what you want until you see that they have it. And the more you concentrate on it, I think the easier it gets. And it also shows you that they still persevere. Just because they're sober doesn't mean life's any easier. It just means you have more tools, better tools, to continue to live a sober life.
Beautiful. How are you finding yourself in your sobriety?
Slowly and with a little bit of difficulty. I'm trying not to be so resistant and trying to learn from others and be easier on myself as opposed to being real hard on myself. That's what got me here.
Beautiful. Okay, thanks for the topic. We're rolling. Anybody else?
Angel.
I remember when I was lost, and I'm gradually getting back to sort of where I can come back to myself, but it's like seeing bits and pieces of who I want to be, because I'm still not where I want to be, because I don't know who that girl is, you know? Because I always put a mask on, but I know that I believe in putting what everybody wanted me to be. You know, I wanted to put what I want. I put everybody people pleasing, making everybody happy. But I know that I had what I didn't want to make everybody happy. I always made myself happy too. But I could be the woman that I wanted to be for everybody. But why should I have? But I lost who. But I'm learning to be the woman that I want to become.
Yeah.
Sober, because I have self-compassion and self-respect today, because I lost that selfishness and disrespect of the girl that was. You know, I don't treat myself and give everybody what they want or do what everybody else wants. I respect who I am now.
Beautiful.
And learning the self-compassion, give myself grace, and I have boundaries for everybody else now. You know, I don't have to do what everybody else wants me to do. I don't have to people please today. I have that boundary set up wall now.
Well said, Angel. Well said.
Tim.
Finding yourself in recovery, is that what you're?
Yeah.
What is working for me? First and foremost, making the choice to come here, and then choosing every day to stay here and work on myself. Putting my trust in not only the entire staff, but more intimately my care team. Also, and this is what it really kind of, everything started coming together for me was recognizing my values and holding them dear to my heart and not breaking them for anybody. And from each piece of that, I can pick apart little bits of what I need to work on.
What are those values that you were holding close to your heart?
Integrity is one of them. There's self-love, self-betterment. I care a lot about other people. There's a ton of them.
You have a fondness for nature and have been taking people from this place on nature walks or what have you. Why are you doing that and how has that helped you?
That brings a lot of peace to me, and I want to expose other people to that as well, to give them that opportunity to maybe even get a glimpse of how it makes me feel, hoping that they can take a little piece of that home with them as well.
Well said, Tim. All right, cool.
Heather?
So I really love this question. Finding my identity has been extremely important for my sobriety. You know, since age 21, I was always a mom. You know, I was always a mom, and I never really got to understand, because, 21's young. I never really got to understand who am I without my children. And then also when in your addiction, you kind of take on this identity as well in your addiction, because a lot of times you're in survival mode. So you're many different people within your addiction because you have to adapt to your environments in order to survive. For me, honesty has been very important in me finding myself, being honest about everything, even the tiniest thing. Being honest about that has helped me really find who I am, and having an understanding that there's something greater than me out there within my spirituality that has helped me identify who I am today as well.
I don't, I want to ask you this. You have stayed here longer than I think you thought you were going to stay here. Fair? Okay.
Very true.
Why have you chosen to do that for yourself?
Because I don't want to do this again.
Right on.
I'm going to stay here as long as it takes for me to be able to stand on my own 2 feet independently, as far as housing, financial, everything. When I'm able to do all that for myself and not depend on somebody else, then I'll go.
Do you think since you're doing that work on yourself, it has made you a better mom?
Yes, absolutely. And it took me separating myself from my children partially for this time for me to be able to become a better mom. Because with them around, I focus on them, I don't focus on me.
Beautiful, Heather. Right on. Go ahead.
Alex?
Yeah, what's really helped me so far is just taking just doing everything this place has to offer, from the park to volleyball to the support groups to church. Like, I've just been doing, healthy start in the morning, smoothies, eating plant-based foods, just everything. I've tried everything. And, just I'm taking like a don't knock it till you try it approach, and that's helping me kind of build my routine, incorporate once I try these new things, if I like it, then I can add it to my routine, and then I can continue to build on that, and keep going from there.
Right on. Right on. What, Alex, what is, and you can name the person if they're in here, that's fine, because they're on camera. Is there something that you saw in a peer here early that you were like, oh, I see this is possible for you, that you really gravitated towards? Or was there something that somebody said or did that you were like, that's what can happen here?
Just seeing, like the people who have, I guess like the senior peers, you would say, like the people who have been here a while, like just seeing how they, their vulnerability and like the courage it takes to like talk about some of the tough stuff that you need, doing the work, showing up, like, and that's admirable to me, and that's helped me open up and talk in group and stuff.
Right
so,
on.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Joe?
Hello, I'm Joe. Finding yourself at early recovery. Someone once told me, like, if you want to really, like, find yourself every day when you wake up, look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? I'm not my job, I'm not my education, I'm not things that are minimal. I'm Joseph, I'm joyful, I'm loving, I'm kind, I'm a son of God, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle. And when you look at those things, what's important to me? You gotta figure out what's important to me. My biggest thing in life is family, and then God, and then other people around me. So with that being said, when you find that out, what you like, you gotta figure out how to love yourself is the biggest key, I think, and like trying to find yourself. If you love yourself and love others and forgive yourself and forgive others, I think that's like maybe the first step of like truly loving yourself, being able to forgive yourself and forgive others. So when you can do that, and when I look at all the good, the bad, the ugly inside everything that I am, and I'm able to be okay with that, then I can be at peace. And then I can move around in peace because I'm okay with who I am. I'm okay with what I do. But at the same time, like I mentioned the other day, if you want to find your purpose or whatever in recovery, you find your why. What's your why? Well, I love people and I like helping people. So what can I do with that? I can do a lot of things. Every day I can do something nice for somebody. I can be kind to somebody. And then, like I mentioned the other day, what's your purpose and what's your direction? Where can I go with that? I don't know. I can go anywhere with that. So what's your why? Why do you do what you do? What's your purpose and what direction are you going? And then you ask the question, is there somebody you noticed early on? Yes. I noticed Adam. To be honest, he's well put together, tucks his shirt in every day, sometimes shows up in work boots, seems very serious and on top of things, and is always punctual, formal, on time, explains everything for what it is, doesn't sugarcoat it, and just gives it to you how it is, it seems like. So I don't know, I noticed that. And then him being a former client, that's also cool because, you know, maybe one day I can do that like him, because I think that's awesome that he did that.
Do you know where Adam and I met? Some of you know this story. I love sharing this story. Adam and I met when I was taking out the trash out back. And he may or may not get into that or whatever, but I know for me, that was just a regular thing for me to do, take the trash out. He has a different viewpoint on that, but the connection that we had from just taking the trash out to where it's built, where he's sitting right here, that's how you find yourself in recovery, just by being yourself, right? There's a whole other story in that, but I think just a simple thing of taking the trash out, and sometimes people may rise to a certain level in whatever they're doing and think that taking the trash out is beneath them. Not for me. When I said about being committed, I'm committed to make this thing the best that it can be. And by simply taking out the trash one day, I got to meet this awesome human being who's now influencing you, but I'm sure what you said tonight is influencing somebody else. And that's how sobriety works right there. Good stuff.
One last thing. Based off that, what you just said right there, him taking the trash out and so on, I think like if you ask yourself like, what am I here or what am I doing, and you don't have anything right now, just focus on these two things. I'm trying to be a leader and I'm trying to be a servant, because that's like, I think the main reason we are here to interact with others is to lead people who need to be led for a better direction and to serve them when we can, because leaders know how to be servants.
Well said, dude. Right on. Okay.
Pam?
In my recovery journey, I have found that deciding what I am not is also kind of part of finding my identity and who I am. You know, sculptors, they take a stone and they have to remove all the things that aren't gonna be the piece of art. And then the other thing is, I try to look back to when I was a little kid and what used to excite me and what, you know, the kinds of things that you make you forget to eat and do what you're supposed to because you're so involved and in that flow with that thing. So yeah, I just want to, those things help me a lot. I just wanted to share that.
That's good. I do feel I have to give Chef Dean some kudos here too, since I did it for Adam, but I remember one of the conversations we had about, you were talking about being a chef, but not wanting to be a chef anymore because of the environment that brings with drinking and stuff. And I remember asking you, have you ever thought about being a chef in a whole other environment with doing plant-based nutrition? And here you are. And I don't know if you want to talk about how you found yourself by doing something you thought you couldn't do anymore and now truly finding yourself with that.
I mean, you know, to find myself when I came through as a client, a lot of you know, a lot of you don't know, but I was literally a hot mess. All right, I came in here with a broken neck, shattered right arm, you know, sitting around like that. And but honestly, how I found myself, it was from the first, I drank the Kool-Aid of that motto that's up on that wall and it's all over. With sobriety, anything is possible. Well, I've always used the term, I'm from Missouri, the show me state. I put it to the test, you know, and that's when all these great things just started presenting themselves. The more time I put in sobriety and doing the right things for myself. You know, I came in here with my significant other, but it was crucial that we were separated because that was the way that I was able to find my purpose and why I'm here, you know, and what I could accomplish with sobriety. And she was able to do the same thing. So, you know, when the cooking thing kind of presented itself, you know, at first I was kind of resistant to it a little bit because I was kind of, you know, the closed-minded still about, oh, what do you mean cooking plant-based, you know, and all that. But then I saw the reaction I got from the first time I did a dinner for everybody on a Saturday night, matter of fact. And from there, it just took off. And I found that I do have a passion for cooking. And I found it in this kitchen here because you know what, the restaurant industry, I wouldn't go back tomorrow for nothing. You know, I cook for you guys, man. I cook for people trying to you know, build their lives. Sometimes when you come through that door, you know, hey, somebody handed you a nice smoothie and stuff like that. It kind of lifts you to a different direction. You know, I know that once you stay focused and concentrate on why you're here and what you're trying to accomplish, that's when you really start putting the work in and finding what you like. You're going to find things that you don't like. You're going to say, well, I don't want to do that no more. And just, you know, this is the time to take to do that. I mean, that's kind of how I found myself here. And, you know, and this guy down here on the end, don't worry about this guy in the middle. Believe it or not, you know, he met Todd with the trash deal. Adam and I became friends over tomato plant homicide. You know, but you know what turned into you know, I was so like I was growing something in the little plant box out back, and then some guy came along and just ripped it out. Well, at first, you know, I was like, oh, you know, all huffing and puffing. They call it my big baby moment. But it turned out that created a friendship like I've never had. You know, and it goes above and beyond the work of it and stuff like that. You know, Adam is a big inspiration to me. You know, he kind of sets the tone, and that's why I just, you know, I go with it, man. You know, I'm very honored to even be up here, you know, speaking on a Thursday night with you guys, man. I mean, I get to see a lot of you guys that come in and volunteer in the kitchen and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I love being up here to kind of share my journey a little bit with you, so you understand when you come in the kitchen and volunteer and stuff. When I'm saying these things to you, I was on that side too, man. You know, and just because I sit on this side now doesn't make me any different. It just makes me more focused on myself, and with that motto up there, you know, with sobriety, anything is possible. You know, I could sit here and go on and on about, you know, you wanna see a record that's that thick, but I'm still up here talking with you guys. So, you know, I've always wanted to say this, if I can do it, you guys can do it, man, trust and believe, but you gotta want it. You know, not one of us here can do it for you, but I promise you, we'll guide you along the way and you'll have the support you need to get to where you wanna be.
Well said.
So,
If you haven't seen our fourth documentary, please watch it. It shows more of Dean and Samantha's hardships of what they've overcome to be who they are today. So, good stuff. Adam, where we at?
Chris.
And I gotta follow Dean. Now, first things first, what you said about wanting it, that's what's important. So, my time as a client here, I found out who I was. It was a journey to say the least. I came here straight from my rock bottom basement, lost everything I loved, screwed a lot of things up, had nowhere to go but up. Step one was leaving old me in the past, forgetting everything I know, sitting and listening. I had to learn to be honest and vulnerable about myself and with myself in order to heal from all my past and figure out who I really am. I really didn't know it because I was high and drunk for almost my entire adult life. Something that really helped me through was finding my tribe. I realized I didn't need to be, or nor did I want to be Mr. Popular. I just wanted to find the core small group of people that support each other and uplift each other. And I think I had picked a pretty good group because we're still in contact today, every day. The biggest thing that helped me find out what I actually like and what I wanted to be was continuously chasing and completing goals, both personal and professional. Like keeping a literal list in a notebook, just checking shit off one at a time. I think I crossed out 2 pages of goals while I was here. Keep on going is like the hard work and sustained sobriety has opened up so many doors for me, and they keep getting better every day. I just recently got promoted at my job. You know, it's big things just keep happening. Just putting one foot in front of the other every day, and just not specifically looking for my life to get better. It just gets better.
Well said. Well said. Good to see you, Chris.
You too.
Phil.
He just went to the restroom.
Nope.
Anybody?
Thomas.
It's funny, I have the last year of experience, I did this the wrong way, and gratitude for that experience to compare and contrast, the grace to be here a second time. Is I would answer that before. I was looking for myself and defining myself and what I would do with life, what title I'd have, what hat I'd wear, functional. This time is fresh eyes, and none of that matters. It's about the virtue. It's about who I want to be as a man, what qualities I want to be to the family that I want to have in the future. And it is different because I'm meeting the same people, spent how much time together last year, but we're actually having quality conversations on those things, and now I see how many good examples I have of good men in my life every day who have something that I want and how they've done it.
Amen.
Wow. Right on, Thomas. Anybody right now?
Phil's not back.
What,
I got one thing too.
Go ahead.
Just real quick. You know, I'm not gonna try and hijack this, but I want each and every one of you guys to know that me personally, I've always been I love that we are not immune to life's hardships, okay? And this has been probably one of the hardest weeks that I've had to go through in a long time. And even like today, going through it bad, and you know what? I knew that I was gonna be here to be with you guys because this is what I do, man. You know, I love setting that pace for you guys. I wanna always show up. And it's not that I'm letting all this stuff go on the back burner of what's going on in my life. I'm taking care of me because I'm around my family and all that right now, where I know if I need support, I got all the support I could possibly have instead of sitting in my chair at home, letting it all go up here, you know? So this stuff does work, guys. I promise you it does, you know? But I'll say it again, you gotta want it. That's, go ahead.
That's good.
I just had to throw that out there.
Good.
Phil.
Phil. What works for me is honesty, right? I gotta be honest with myself, not just with others. Jot the stuff down on a journal, you know what I'm saying? Read it, because I can manipulate anything in my head, you know what I'm saying? But if I put it down on paper, it becomes real to me. then the courage and the strength to actually put the work in. Because it ain't easy, you know, looking in the mirror and seeing what you become and all that, you know what I'm saying? And it's not you, it's just, you know, we do messed up things when we're out there getting high. You know, having the strength to actually work on that, the courage to do it, you know, and, you know, some time. You know, it takes time to put the work in sometimes, you know, even if it's just a little bit every day, you know, a little bit, that little eighth of an inch will add up to a foot, then to a yard, you know, and then to a mile, you know what I mean? It just takes the work. You know, we didn't become addicted overnight. So, you know, it's easy does it, you know, but that's all right. Like catching on versus catching up is the real tick, because we try to catch up and get distracted and get overwhelmed, and then we're, you know, making mistakes again, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how we cope, learning to cope and figuring, you know, and giving ourselves that time to heal, because, you know, it's like I said, it's not overnight. I'm no scientist, but I saw somewhere where like that defense mechanism in our head, we messed that up by putting all them endorphins on it, right? All them extra endorphins. And then, like, now we have to get high to survive. It's what our brain is now wired to do, like the next hit, the next one, the next drink, whatever the case may be. So it takes time for that to heal. And it will heal, though, they say. So give it a chance, you know. It's just, you know, all we have is today. And if we just keep, like I said, just putting in that eighth of an inch of work, it's just something to feed that spirit something good each day. You know, see that we're doing something, then bam, you know, eventually we'll wake up and we have 20 years, you know what I'm saying, clean and serene and doing the next best thing. Integrity is the biggest thing too. Having integrity, like just doing the right thing when nobody's looking. You know it happened, and that's all that matters. And that's that fuel, I think, for the soul by itself. You know, gets you jumping and going, moving forward, trying to do the next best thing, even when no one's looking. That'll pass.
Well said. We do create new neural pathways in the brain that replace the destruction of addiction. And when you start rewiring the brain, so to speak, all the things we were chasing with substances, we now find just in natural ways of living, and it's a lot better. Why did you choose to come here tonight?
Lenny brought me.
Okay.
I didn't even know about it, honestly. But I'm glad I came. It seems like a pretty cool meeting to get to. Very modern here, so.
I'm glad you're here. Right on. Cool. Do you have a favorite sports team by any chance?
Go Bills.
Okay. All right. No hockey? Any hockey in there?
Yeah, the Sabres.
Okay,
Of
all
all
right.
New York teams.
Right on. I'm glad you're here. Okay, who's up?
Michelle.
Goodness. I think, I mean, I would say like everybody, a bit of everybody's answers would be what comes to mind. But I don't know how to say it. I guess I'm at a loss for words. I liked when Joe was talking about, I think I focused my life on, in your book you say, drugs are not who we are, it's what we do. Understanding that concept, I mean, what we do gives us experiences and allows us to earn a living and allows us to support ourselves, and so it's necessary. But for me, I think I've always struggled with balance. Like when I run in a direction, I got to do all of this, or I got to do, instead of sort of trying to balance things more. And my big mistake here, you know, we have groups and we talk about like what our words are or defining ourselves, and one of my biggest words, and Shane took it for the beginning, was connection. what did I do when I left here the first time I had the gift of coming to Racing for Recovery for almost a year? I was here 10 months. I did well, just like I'm doing now, because I am around people. I am around my tribe. I am around the people who are working on themselves, and we're all doing the same work and encouraging each other and supporting each other, having fun, building each other up. But last time when I was here the first time, I was going to get my life back, and my life was a job, an apartment, a vehicle, supporting myself. And then I got there and I was all alone. And that's not how we are as human beings. So my big mistake was not staying connected, and kudos to all of the alumni that are here that continue to come back. That was the piece that I didn't connect that. I didn't make that connection. That the connection and the goal for me at least is to stay connected. If you're doing great here and you did well here, why would you completely unplug from here? That doesn't make any sense. So coming back was an easy choice for me once I could get out of my own way, because I dug that hole again. Because it's easy to do. When you don't have anybody around you or you isolate yourself, you can go way down in that hole. And I did again, but here you guys are. And here you're like, come back. What did you say? Get back here, Michelle, and let's see what we missed. Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't, you screwed up, you did this, you did that. Let's just see what we missed. And it's the connection. It's the, wow, that's a great comment. Oh, that's a great thing. Hey, we're going to do the food thing this weekend, right? I don't take all of these people with me when I go. Of course, that's unrealistic. But those are the pieces that are going to carry me along my way, as long as I keep it balanced and know what I need. And that's part of learning what you need to sustain yourself, because we still have to sustain ourselves, but it's knowing that you're putting all of these pieces together in the different groups we do, and then what works for you, what color looks right on you, that type of thing. So.
Nice shirt, yep. That's an inside joke. We've been talking for almost 40 minutes. And the people that are new here tonight, I wonder if you're cognizant of what I'm about to say. How many specific drugs or specific names of alcohol or specific war stories have been mentioned? Zero. Zero. Who cares? Has nothing to do with how do you find yourself in recovery. We don't care how many whatever and how many whatever. Has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with finding yourself. Understanding the trauma that you endured that led to a choice to finally find your drug of choice or whatever, that has everything to do with eventually finding yourself in recovery. You understand that? If you don't, keep hanging around this place. It has nothing to do with how many beers you drank in a day. There's no trophy in that. There's wellness here. Racing for Recovery is not a drug treatment center. It is a mental wellness, lifestyle enhancement force. That's what this is. Because we do what he wants and is now getting. It feels good to be sitting up here tonight. All right, go ahead.
John. Yeah, I'm John, and I'm an alcoholic. Excuse me.
You're good.
For me, I've heard it several times, and it's I'm not the man I should be, but I'm not the man I was yesterday. In general terms of the area.
Yeah.
The basic is you got to stay in the now, right now, this present moment, and God is good. He throws me roses one day, and I get a handful of dandelions the next day. It's my decision of what am I going to do with this situation. And I was talking to a young gentleman up there in the floor earlier. They got to meet Ozzy. But I have 15 years of current sobriety in time.
Awesome.
But that's only one day at a time. And if you just one day at a time, and I'm glad that we have these situations in this area. The support group, my biggest thing is support. You know, don't hold it on to yourself. Because when I get up here myself, that's when I know I can go off to the races. And like the saying says, with sobriety, all things are good.
That's right.
With a drug, or whatever your choice is, we know what's gonna happen. And I don't like reading bad news in papers. Thank you for letting me share.
Right on, John, right on. Yes.
Kelly.
I say often at these meetings that I don't know what I'm gonna talk about if I raise my hand. And I sit around and I listen to everyone and I soak it in, and it genuinely, every single time I sit through these meetings, I get something from everyone that speaks, from the word integrity, to stick around as long as you need, as I have, to how do you find yourself in recovery. It took me some time to find myself. I went down quite a few wrong paths with different ways and different people, trying to mold myself to what everybody else wanted me to be, or to be part of a group, or whatever it might be. The same thing that I did for most of my life. It wasn't a matter of going back to what I was before. It wasn't a matter of what I wanted to be before. I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to be or who I was when I came in here. I had absolutely no idea how this place was going to change my life. This is not just a drug recovery program. For me, it was more of the mental health aspect, physical health aspect. I might not do as much as some others, but I am a lot more active than I was before. And learning to, I still have a hard time saying love myself, but like myself. I like where I am now. I like where I'm going now. I may not be who I'm going to be, but I'm definitely better than I was. The life hardship thing was something that I, right away when I came through here, stuck with me. I felt like as soon as I was to a point that I could understand how to ride the wave through a hardship, whether small or large, because those were the excuses to just drink in the past, that I would be able to stand on my own 2 feet. And I've had some. It took me a long time in here before I could open up to Amanda. It took me a long time to talk about me and not everyone else in my family, where I threw everything else and she was tired of hearing about everybody and not me. Once I started talking about me, I realized a lot of the reasons why I did the things I did, why I had the traits that I had, which helps me now to maneuver differently. It's not like those things don't still pop up, but I know now how to maneuver in different ways. The life hardships, I sit around and I cry sometimes, and I cry for a day or two, and then I get my ass up and figure out what I'm gonna do next. I don't drink. I feel the emotions even when they suck. And then I feel better. The connection part, like Michelle said, it's something that I, after being here for some time, need. I have said it out loud. Since not being a client here any longer, if I don't contact somebody here on a Thursday morning to tell them why I'm not gonna be here on a Thursday night, somebody better reach out and call me. I very rarely miss a Thursday, and if I'm going to miss it for a good reason, I let somebody here know who knows me. This is my connection. It will always be my connection. I need this. I don't think that's going to change. I, again, cannot express to anyone what this place has done for me, for my family, for me to be able to go out and speak about this place to people. Having someone come up to me at my place of employment yesterday, a young man that just reached out and said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a moment? I have this addiction going on. It makes me feel better. If I don't do it, I don't feel good, but when I do it, it's not good for my health. I don't know what I should be doing." Just said a couple of very vague things that I learned here, brought tears to his eyes, and said it's the best advice he has had from anyone, and thank you. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't learn it here. And it wasn't like I said, you should. I would never do. It was just, hey, what I hear, maybe you would like to go forward and try something. I always say, coming here, I found my path. There's different paths. You don't have to do everything the exact same way. You don't have to run an Ironman. You don't have to become a vegetarian.
Yep.
The people that I came through here with and the people that were on the other side of that table, there isn't one of them that haven't touched me in one way or another. There isn't one of them that I haven't strived to want something that they have. Every single one of you in this room that I have been here with for a few years have something that I want, and that's why I'm working my ass off to get there.
Kelly, I don't remember where you sat the first ever meeting you came to, but I do remember where you sat, which is there, when you said to me, someday I'm gonna sit up there running that meeting, and I'm proud to watch you do that on several occasions now, and I love it. Every time I see you sitting in that chair, I just think back of when you go, someday I'm gonna run that meeting up there. I'm like, okay.
This place is home.
You did it. Yeah, beautiful. Right on.
We have 2 more people in 4 minutes, so if we can get through that.
Quick. 3 words I think of every day are what on the back that are on the back of our shirts. Empathy, humility, and gratitude. If you can practice that toward yourself and others, you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
And this place embodies those 3 words. Not only is it on our things, but the staff around here walks the walk when it comes to those. I've been to every facility in the area, and I have never had more humble staff members in front of me. This place embodies without parallel. You guys, the staff here does not act like they're greater than us. They stay on the same level as we do.
Yeah.
So, and that has helped me as well.
Wow.
Yes.
I love what you said. And the main thing I loved what you said is you called it our shirts, and you're right. Our place, our books, our shirts, our way, our. That's beautiful. Right on.
Paul.
Me, what I get most out of here is the comfortability for me to be open and and honest with myself. You know, it's Amanda, she is just truly she stays on me for me to be be honest with myself. You know, cause I can lie to you, you know what I'm saying, but with that dude, you know, and she makes me really look at myself, you know, and dig deep inside of me, you know, to find out then just what is my problem, you know, if my problem is me, and most of the time the problem is me. And the way that I think, and she lets me be able to open up and change my way of thinking. And I'm thankful for being that person. She is.
Beautiful. Good meeting. Before we do the answer, Steve, thank you for a great topic tonight. And in conclusion, how do you find yourself in sobriety? First thing we have to do is stop doing the things that are preventing us from finding ourselves in sobriety. Then you give yourself an opportunity to find yourself in sobriety. Right on. Great meeting, guys. Who has the answer?
Autobiography, sir.
Yeah, correct. Sorry.
That's 2.
Thank you. There's 2.
My first day.
God, I still can't get it together.
Just real quick, one more round of applause for our awesome staff here.
All right, who's reading the final poem?
I got it. It's Autobiography in 5 short chapters by Portia Nelson. Chapter 1, I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I'm hopeless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. 2, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It takes a long time to get out. 3, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. 4, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. 5, I walk down another street.
Yes.
Coming, everybody.